Welcome. Thank you for joining. So let us continue our session. In our last session, we have seen parameters and variables and mapping level. What is mapping level parameter? So what is debugger? What is reusable transformation? What is maplet? That we have seen. So do you have any doubt in this parameters and variables and anything? Previous session, do you have any doubt? Anything while practicing? Do you have any doubt? Okay, I hope you do not have any doubt. Okay, so now we will go with the another concept in the mapping level properties. Okay, if you look at your mapping, create option is nothing but we can create the mapping, new mapping, and copy as is nothing but, say for an example, if I want to copy a particular mapping, okay, left hand side will be having all the mapping here. I want to copy it. I want to change. I want to do some changes in the existing mapping. So I thought of making one copy of this previous one. Then I'm doing the changes for backup purpose. Okay. So how to make a copy? You can go to the mapping. You can go to the copiers and you can create. Okay. This is for backup. Okay. Something like that. So you can make this as a backup and then you can do the changes here. If anything goes wrong, you can check in the backup or revert to the backup version also. That's what we will do. So this is called copiers. So you can make copiers and edit is nothing but you are editing the name of the mapping. So that is edit. You can close the mapping, you can delete the mapping, validate the mapping. So if you have validated before, after that you want to validate, you can validate it. If you are seeing that, okay, the validation, some error, you have to go through why it got error, then you have to fix it. That's a validation, you are checking it. Okay, then we are going with propagate attributes. So what is propagate attribute? It's nothing but I will take one more session. Okay, like this I will take. Many transformations are there. So what is propagate attribute? Say for an example, your customer is saying that, okay, they want to increase number of character per a particular column. So the phone number we have like our email column, we have 25 characters. But your customer is saying that, okay, we are getting more than 25 characters. It is getting truncated. You increase this length of the phone number from 25 to 50 characters. Okay, so you assume that there are a lot of transformations available and you have to do manually, right? So instead of doing manually, how to change it? So that's what we are going to see, the propagate attribute. Propagate attribute is nothing but we can propagate the attribute. Okay, whatever you want to change. So I want to change this into 50 characters. Can I change here the source definition? Can I change here? No, I cannot change the source definition in mapping. We have to go to the source analyzer. The source analyzer, we have to drag and drop the source here. So just to drag and drop the corresponding source. So here we have the corresponding source here, right? So you can take whichever the source we have. So you can take, say for an example, this is the source for employees underscore countries. You can drag and drop. So here you have to change. So email, here you have to change from 25 to 50. So I have changed it. So click on OK now. So it will become 50 now. So if you go and check here, so this 25, okay, will become 50 here. So only on the source side. So not on the source qualifier side. Look at here, source qualifier side. So it is not on the other transformations also. It is not on the other transformations. You can see here, I will show you. So here email ID. So this is what 25 only we are seeing. Okay, I want to change for each and every transformations. How can I change it? Is it possible to change automatically? Yes, we have one method that is called a propagate attribute. So what is it? What is propagate attribute? I'll show you. So if you look at here, so I want to change this 50 to all the columns. Then how to do? So right click on the column. You can you can click on this propagate attribute. So propagate it. So you want to propagate the data type, position, scale, description on the direction called forward direction, something backward direction, both also. So a lot of options will be there. You can check these options and everything, then it will be propagated. So if you are seeing that green color mark, then successfully propagated. So up to where? Up to last transformation to be propagated, wherever it is going, and then the target, it will not be propagated. Okay, so target you are seeing still the red color only. Okay, you want to change the target, then you have to go here. The target also here you have to change it. So you want to change it 50, then this is what you have to change it, right? So here, double click on it, then go to email. Here you can change it like 50. So source and target you need to do. Then in between, how many mappings are there? Just you can propagate it. It will be propagated. This is called propagate attributes. Okay. I hope you are clear on the propagated attribute. Okay. So now you can see here and expand and all, it's like expanding. So each and every cell. What is compare? Say for an example, this is one expression is one of the mapping. Okay. Some changes you did it. Some changes you did it in the new one. Assume that. So here I'm going with some changes here. I'm making +91. Okay, some changes are there. So here in the salary column, 12,000. Okay, some changes are there. And apply here. Okay, here. And source qualifier, you want to apply some filter. Okay, assume that just I'm applying a filter. Okay, some changes are there. I'm making that apply. See here, this is on the expression transformation backup. And I want to compare. So what is the difference between this mapping and the backup mapping? How can I compare it? So is it possible to manually compare each and every column? No, right? You can go to mapping, compare it. So I want to compare the mapping, this mapping with mapping to. Which mapping I want to compare? Expression underscore transformation underscore backup. You can go to the browse. You can select that particular mapping. See this mapping I want to compare it. So choose it, whatever the mapping you want to compare. The folder will be on the same folder. Okay, same folder. So you can click on compare it. It will compare and then it will show you whatever the differences are there. It will show you on the red color. See here, there is a difference in the mapping name. That's why it's in the red color. Checked out version are both are like version 1 only. I will tell you after some time what is check in, check out and all. Okay, then go to mappings. So there is no difference. And the instances. In the instance is nothing but already the map, the transformations, right? So here you can able to see the transformation instance. So in employees, source qualifier, you have the difference. Expression, you have the difference. Double click on the source qualifier. So you can go to the each and every tab. You can see is there any differences. Okay, properties. Yes, here we do not have any source filter, but here we have some filter. So you can double click on it. It will show you. So here empty, here some filter condition are applied. This is one difference. Okay, then close it. Then go to expression, double click to transformation port. Then you can see here, right? So you can see here, there is some differences. So this is what, if you want to compare, definitely you will compare in real-time project. So make sure that this is what you will compare it. Okay. If your team leader is asking you to compare it, or you are getting some scenario, I want to compare two mappings, I want to compare two workflows, two sessions. So everywhere it will be available compare options. Okay. That you have to compare. Parameters and variables, already. So this one we will not use normally, metadata extension rule. So what is target load plan? Okay, target load plan is nothing but, so this is also one of the interview questions they will ask. What is target load plan? So whenever you have multiple pipeline in single mapping, whenever you have multiple pipeline, okay, so whenever you have multiple pipeline in single mapping, say for an example, I will be creating m underscore target underscore load plan, target load plan. So I'll be clicking on OK here. M underscore target load plan. You can see here, I'm just taking employees flow. Just taking one flow called employees, the second flow called T underscore employees, and I will take here from here. Okay, and one more flow I'm taking. Is it possible to take one more flow? Yes, it is possible. So this blue color represents the pipeline. This blue color represents it's a database connection. Okay, database level, the dependency. So for an example, I do not have any T underscore departments table, just I'm taking the customer table for the representation purpose. See, this pipeline is different. The above pipeline is different. If I'm going to run this particular mapping, which flow will be executed first? Whether it will load employees flow first or the customer flow or departments flow first. Okay, or both will run parallel. So this is the question, right? See, both will, see, you have 2 or 3 pipeline. So everything will not run in parallel. Why? Because it may have dependency. Okay, this table might be the source for another pipeline, might be. Okay, in order to maintain the dependency, Informatica will run so one by one. So this one will run. So after that, this one will run, might be. So, but you can make, say for an example, this one should be executed first. Then only this pipeline should be executed. Where can I define? In the target load plan. If you go to the target load plan, you can see both of the group order. So as per this order, the departments, this pipeline will be executed first. Okay, this one will be executed first. Since we have dependency, it has automatically taken. Okay, then it will take the employees. If you want to make employees first, then departments, you can click on this icon. So this move the selected group up. You can click on it. Then the employees flow will be executed first. Once T underscore employees has been loaded, then only the departments table will start running. So this is called a target load plan. Whenever you have more than one pipeline in a mapping, which pipeline to be executed first, you can define in the target load plan. Some might be asking in interview. Okay. So what is generate workflow? So normally, how will you generate the workflow for this session, this mapping? So you will go to the workflow manager. There you will be creating a workflow. But here you can go to the mapping and you can generate workflow. Click on generate workflow. So you want to generate 3 options will be there: reusable sessions, workflows with the reusable session. You want workflow? Yes. Reusable session? Yes. Non-reusable session. So workflow you need with the non-reusable session. Normally this is the option you will go for it, right? So you can choose this one, go to next. It will say, it will show you, you have to define all the source and target connection. Okay, look at here. So source and target connection we have to define. So normally we are hard coding the connection, but in real time this will be a parameterized. What is integration service? Here only one integration service available, but in real time some 3 or 4 integration service will be there based on the project. So you have to choose the integration service and everything, workflow name, and what is the prefix of the session. Everything you have to mention, click on next. See here, workflow name, session name, integration service, everything, connection information, everything. So click on next. See, workflow has been generated successfully. Okay. So if you go and check in the workflow manager, you can able to see the workflow. So this is the way we can create generate workflow. Some templates will be there. Some mapping template wizards will be there. So what is the slowly changing dimension? You know already, right? So we have completed SCD type 1, type 2, type 3. So you can use this template to create it, but normally we will not use it, this template and all, since we have some customized source and target. We have some customized logic for our project. So we will not use template, but if you want to use it, you can use template, remove duplicates, incremental load, all this you can use it. Okay. So then debugger, you know already. So what is debugger? Breakpoints and everything, you know. So these are all the options are available in mapping level. Okay, clear? Any doubt? Okay, so I hope you are clear. So now I will go to the workflow level properties. So what is workflow level properties? You know already what is task developer, workflow designer, and workload designer and workflow designer. Say for an example, I'm running a particular workflow. I'm running a particular workflow, employees underscore data. So this one I'm running. So what will happen? A session log will be created, right? Session will be running, a session log will be created. It will load the data. You can see whether it has been succeeded or failed. You can see it on the monitor, right? So you can see it here. So double click, you can go to this one, and then you can see here 107 record has been loaded. Okay, this is the one, right? Then I want to check the session log. So where the session log will be created, you can go here. You can see get session log. If you are clicking on, the session log will be opened. From where it is taking? So this will be taken from the C drive, right? So I will go to the C drive, Informatica 10.2.0 server, info shared, here session logs. So if you look at here, so this is the session, we are seeing it now, right? Employees data. But normally it will create in the .bin format. What is .bin? It's a binary file format, binary file. Okay, it's like a binary file. If you are opening this binary file in a notepad or something, you cannot able to understand it. So like this, it will be showing some Chinese character or some different characters. You'll be seeing it. You cannot able to see what is there in this particular session log. You cannot understand fully. Okay. Normally, Informatica can understand this binary file. If it is in Unix box, you'll go to this particular path. You'll be using strings. Okay, strings space this file name, then it will open it. Normally, cat we will use, right? Cat is for the text file. If you are using strings space this file name, binary file, then it will be opened. But you are thinking that, okay, I want in the text file, this session log should be created in text format. So how to do it? So you can go here, double click, you can go to the properties. In the properties, you can see write backward compatible session log file. So this one you can able to see here. You can click on this option. What is write backward compatible session log? So this will create the session log in txt file format. You can see here, go to start workflow. You can see now it will be created with, so it's running. So once it has been executed, you can able to see here the text file will be created. It has been completed. You can see here. So refresh it. You can able to see one text file has been created. Okay. So this is what it will be created now. Okay. Session log will be created. Now you can see, double click on it. You can able to see the text file. So now you can able to understand, okay, what is there in the file, right? So this is called write backward compatible session log. Okay. Say for an example, this session is going to fail now. So I'm making this one connection changes. I'm doing it and I'm going to run it. So what will happen? This session will fail, right? This session will fail. it got failed, right? So table or view does not exist. Why? Because we were changing this particular connection. Okay, so now I'm going to check the session log. Session log, I'm pressing E, and you are saying, okay, there is an error. Okay, I want to check this session log, the previous session log. So this is succeeded session, this is failed session. So if I want to check with succeeded session log, is it possible to get this session log? If I'm going to check session log, what will happen? See here, I'm pressing E. So here also it is showing like E error. Why? See here, 834, right? 834. See 834 you are saying, but this session completed by 832 itself, 833 itself, right? Why? Why for this session also we are getting the same session log? See, whenever you are running the session, it will overwrite the existing session log. Okay, it will overwrite the existing session log. But normally in our real time, we will not do it. So we need some previous 4 or 5 session log. Okay, so that's what we'll compare it. Okay, how it has been executed yesterday, how it is executing by today. So last 5 runs we want to make it. So where can I keep that option? You can double click. You can go to the config object. Here you'll be using save session log by session runs. And you can see save session log for these runs. So by default it will be 0. So 0 means one session log will be created. You can make it like 5 year. Okay. Last 5 sessions session log will be created. So now if I'm going to run it, so I'm changing the connection now. Changing the connection now. I'm pointing to correct connections. So now what will happen? It will succeed. It will succeed, right? It will not overwrite this session log. So this session log is different. This session log is different. So where it will be, I'll show you now. So it is executing. Last 5 session log will be created one by one. I'll show you. So whenever I'm running, it will create like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See here, 0 it has been, right? So now it is creating. So you can go and check here. Succeeded. You can see succeeded session log. It got succeeded, right? So there is no error here. I'm pressing E. It is not showing any error. But here, I'll go and check here. Session log. I'm pressing E here. Showing the error. Okay. So this session log is different. This session log is different. Now it is not overwriting. Last 5 session log will be different. Okay. So that's what you will be using this option. Normally in real-time project, so we will give these options. So what is the option? We will check all the connections. Go to the config object, stop on errors. You know already stop on errors, right? Stop on errors is nothing but if any one error, it will stop the execution and it will fail the session. That is what stop on errors. And session log for these many runs, we will make it like 5 runs. Okay, session log for these runs. And we'll go to the general, we'll make it like fail parent if this task fails. These options, and also you'll be having enable high precision. Okay, enable high precision. This option also we will enable it. So high precision, some decimal values and all high precision will be enabled. So apply okay here, then save this. So these are all the options. Okay. So we have seen 2 options. Now we can go for session log file name. You know, right? Session log file name. What is the session log directory? So this is what the session log directory. So you want to keep it somewhere? Yes, you can make it like somewhere. Parameter file name, you know already. So what is enable test load? Say for an example, you are in real-time project, you are creating a workflow. Your client is saying that, okay, so deploy the workflow into production. We are, as of now, you should not load any data into production. Just you check whether all the connections are working fine. Okay, your workflow is working fine, but don't load any data. So don't load any data. Just you can execute and check whether the connection is available. Okay, just a second. Sorry. What is enable test load, right? If you are enabling it test load, it will not write any data into target. Okay, it will check the connections. So it will show you how many data you want to test it. I want to test one single data or 10 data or anything. You can mention that number of rows to be tested. Okay, if you are using number of test load, the mapping, you should not enable the bulk load. It should be a normal load, and truncate table also you should not enable. Okay, this also you should not enable it. So I can apply okay. Now, if I go and execute, it will not load any data into target table. So here 107, right? But it will not load any data. It will take one data into the target and roll back it. You check the connections. See, these are all the options they might be asking in interview. Please make a note of it. See here, I'm right clicking and I'm going for the get run properties. It is not showing any source and target statistics. Like normally it will show you. It is getting succeeded. That means connection is correct. So right click, you can go to session log. You can able to see here how many record it has been read from the source. So one record should be there. So one record. So requested one, applied one, affected one. But after that, it will apply rollback. Then it will not have any data in the target table. Okay. So you are making some connection error. Okay, some connection you are changing it. So what will happen? Enable test load also it will fail, right? So I'm making connection error. Then what will happen? It will fail. The production also it will fail. It will not load any data. It will fail. So you can assume that okay. So there is a issues in the connection. You have to change some connections. Okay. If you want to check some connection in the production environment without loading any data, you can go for enable test load. So it is failing now, right? So if the connection is wrong, it will fail. If the connection is successful, it will not load any data into target. So this is what you are seeing the options. Clear? Okay, this is called enable test load. If enable test load is available, then you cannot able to see. You should not run the session in bulk load. What is bulk load? I will explain. So what is this target load type? I will explain. We know already target load plan, right? What is target load type? I will explain later. Okay, these are all options. You know already, make reusable and mapping name. You can see the corresponding respective mapping name, and you can see fail parent if this task does not run. If the task is does not run, you can make the parent. Okay, disable this task. Sometimes you want to disable it, you can enable this option. Treat input rows linkers and or you know, right? So whenever you are having what is this treat multiple treat this row as under or, so we'll be having master workflow. Where is it? See here. If you have multiple link here, so treat multiple link. So here, so how many link is there? 3. Double click. Treat the input link as and. And means all the link should be succeeded. All the links should be succeeded. Then only it will get triggered. If you are thinking that okay, if any one of the link is success, you can proceed. So that you have to go for R option. R means you are making this session R. Any input, any one of the input is succeeded, it will get triggered. Okay, so that's what you can make it here. So treat input link as under R. Okay, so now go for other options. So double click, properties, test load, you know, and that source connection, target connection, you know, this is the parameterized connections. Okay, you can enable these parameter options. Treat row as insert option. Normally it will be insert. If you are using update strategy, it will be a data driven. Okay, if you want to delete any physically a data into the target table, you have to go for delete options here. So delete option, update option, data driven, all this. If you are using update strategy, automatically will be showing like data driven. Then roll back transaction on errors. Yes, you want to roll back the transaction on errors. Yes, you can enable it. So normally you'll be having a commit interval. The commit interval is 10,000. By default, commit interval is in target 10,000. Every 10,000 record, it will issue a commit statement. Since we are seeing only 107 record or 100 records, so after loading all the data, then it will commit. But if you have millions of data, so every 10,000 record, it will commit it. So if you are thinking that, okay, the session is committing every 10,000 record and it is taking a lot of time to complete it. So as per the performance issue method, you can increase this commit interval by any value. Okay, some value you can increase it like 100K. Okay, so all this is 10K, right? So you can go for 100K or 200K or 500K or anything. That's what you can make it like a commit interval. And recovery strategy. So what is recovery strategy? Fail task and continue the workflow. If this task is failed, you can go with the next one. That's what you can go for the fail task. So say for an example, you can go for resume from last checkpoint. That means, so what is this option? So if you're using this, you're running this workflow. So it has been failed in the middle of this middle of the data load. Then if you are enabling this resume from last checkpoint, then wherever it has been left out, it will mark one point over there, some hash value. Then after that, again, you have to go for recover task. Okay, this option. Wherever it has been left out, from there it will be started. So this is called recover task option. Okay, so remember this recover task. Okay, so now we can make it like fail task, this one. Java. So if you are using Java transformation, the class path you can mention here. DTM buffer size, data transfer manager buffer size. So there, this is the place where Informatica will do all the transformation logic. It will keep the data and then it will do the transformation logic. Make it like auto only. So all the caching size, everything, you can make it like auto. So based on the server, we have the temporary cache size and lookup size and everything. So it will define it in the runtime. Collect performance data. Yeah, if you are enabling it in the session log, it will collect the performance data. So you can see the load summary. So what is the bottleneck and everything you can able to see here. So this one I will take while in the performance session. Okay. Incremental aggregation. What is incremental aggregation? If you're using aggregator, then you can enable this option. So what is incremental aggregation? Say for an example, today you are running this aggregator. The value you are seeing, you have 100 record in the source. All the values are, this is the value. Okay, some summation value. The next day, 5 new record is coming up. Only our 10 record is coming up. So that values we want to go for. So totally 110 record will be there, right? So 10 records, already 100 records are there. I want to make all the sum. Then what will you do? So you want to go with beginning, all the 110 record you have to sum, or the previous record plus the new record. So that's the incremental aggregation. Incremental aggregation means this one plus this new 10 records summation, then it will create the value. So this is called incremental aggregation. Next time new record is coming, so that's what it will go for, the incremental aggregation. Okay, so just you can enable it. So this is one of the method to improve the performance. High precision, you know. What is session retry on deadlog, right? What is that option? Say for an example, if your target is Teradata. So normally in Teradata and all, we will get this issue. Session retry deadlog. So what is this? This is target table. You assume that this is target table. So you are from one team, another person from another team. Okay, you assume that. See, normally 2 person will not load the table simultaneously. So you are running Informatica one workflow or one workflow, the session you are running. Okay, you assume that the session is running. It is loading the data into this table, some table, T underscore customer. Okay, at the same time, can I load? So in another workflow, can I load it? Workflow 2, some team 2. This is team 2. This is team 1. So they are loading it. At the same time, can you load it on the same table? On the same table, can you load? So which one will be taken, right? So it will happen deadlock issue. Second workflow will fail. Okay, this session will fail, saying that deadlock issue. So one person is trying to update the data, insert and update operation is there, then second workflow will get failed. So you want to make the second workflow to be waited. Okay, wait, and then you have to first you have to complete this, and then you have to start this. So start running this. Okay, it will wait. It will go on wait state. Then we'll go for that is what session retry on deadlock. Okay, deadlock means so you are running the two different more than one process at the same time. It will fail it. So you can enable the session retry on deadlock. It will wait for it. Once the lock is released, then this will try. Okay, normally in table, reader lock, read lock, write lock, exclusive lock will be created. So based on the lock, the Teradata and all, so it will wait for it. Okay, then it will try. After that, it will try. This is called session retry on deadlock. Okay, clear? So if you are not able to get anything, so please tell me that. So ask your question. Session sorting order. So you are having some sorter or aggregator or the joiner or the rank transformation. Definitely you need to use sorting. So you remember we have different sorting mechanism, right? Bubble sort, binary sort, all the different sorting mechanism. So I want to use some sorting algorithm. You can use it. Okay, sort order. So this is what sort order to use. And what is constraint based load ordering? The config object, you can see constraint based load ordering. What is this? Constraint based load ordering. So you assume that in our Informatica, in our table, we have employees table, right? We have employees table. You assume that T underscore employees table. Employees table, you have the T underscore employees table. And T underscore departments table. T underscore departments table. And we have one more table is called T underscore locations. So like this, lot of tables will be there. So you know already the dependency, right? So what is the dependency? So here we have the table called T underscore employees. In employees table, we have the employee ID. So department ID will be there, right? So employee underscore ID. So finally you'll be having a department ID. So you'll be giving that information. This department ID is coming from. So you have to give the integrity constraint, department ID. Then you are having the department name and you'll be having a location ID, right? So where the location ID is coming from, this location ID, we are giving the foreign key here, location ID, then city, the other country, all this. So yeah, these are all the, this one. See in the locations table, so this is T underscore employees table. This is T underscore departments table. Then this is T underscore locations table. T underscore locations table. See, what is the order we have to execute? So here in this table, this particular location ID is the primary key. In location table, location ID is the primary key. In departments table, department ID is the primary key. Employee table, employee ID is the primary key, right? But if you look at here, in the departments table, location ID will be a foreign key. Location ID will be a foreign key. We have given the connection like this. You assume that. And here, so this is the foreign key. Okay, this is the foreign key. You make sure that this is the order we have. Okay. So you tell me which table should be loaded first. Either this table or this table, this table. So what is the order we have to load? Which table we have to load? We have to load the location table first. Then we have to load the departments table. Then we have to load the employees table. This is called target load plan. Okay. Or if you don't know what is the order to be executed, you can enable constraint based load ordering. If you have enabled it, so Informatica will take care which table to be loaded first. Okay. From the source, which table to be loaded first, it will take. So it will load employees, this locations table first, then department table, then employees table. This is the order it will load. So this is called constraint based load ordering. This is one of the interview question they will ask you in interview. Okay, so make sure that. Okay, now you have cache lookup. So what is that lookup and all? I will take separate session. These are all buffer size and everything you can able to see here. Custom properties, you know, right? So you remember when we have some file is creating the target, header will be created. You want to remove the header and all, you can go for custom properties. The lookup size and everything you can able to see here. Save session log, these many runs, and stop on errors. Override tracing is nothing but the amount of information in the session log. Override tracing is nothing but the amount of information in the session log. What is this? See, if I'm going to run a particular session, so I'm going to run this particular session. So here, look at here. So if I'm going to run this override tracing, I want to make verbose data. Verbose data means in the session log, data also will be captured. Each and every data will be captured in the session log. Okay, you can see here. So for this session, there is no data. Data will not be captured. But this session, all the data will be captured. If you have millions of record, for testing purpose, we can enable it. But don't enable for all the execution. What will happen? All the millions of record, it will load it into a session log. So you can see here. So whether it is reading the data. So we can see here some data should be. So since we have connection error, I think it will not load. See here, still it is loaded. It was reading the data from source. All the 100 records will be there in the session log itself. You can see below. So here, if you have millions of record, all the millions of record will be written into the session log. Okay, so make sure that for the testing purpose, we can enable it, but not in all the cases. So that is called, you have this option, okay? Override tracing. So each and every transformation also will be having a tracing level. On stored procedure error and all this, you know, already. And mapping. These are all the mapping. So you can see the connections, you can see the memory properties and files, parameter files and everything. You know where to keep the workflow level session log, right? Sorry, workflow level log. So workflow level log will be there in the workflows. Go to edit. You can see what is the integration service. Sometimes I want to change the integration service. Here you can change it. Click on this integration service. So in real time, we'll be seeing a lot of integration service. From there, you can choose it. Okay. So this is the options. Then in the properties, you can see the parameter file name. So in our last session also I was showing. So this parameter file name is common for entire workflow. That means you have multiple sessions. We want to make it the parameter file for common for all the sessions. Then you can make it here, workflow level parameter file. Write backward compatible session log. This is workflow log and workflow log file name. So where the workflow log will be created, the workflow log directory. So everything you can see here. See here, workflow log for these runs. One run will be there. So this is what this option. What is high availability? So I will explain this one later. Okay. So these are all troubleshooting method, high availability and all. Okay, these are all the options you have. Then double click, go to components. In the component, you have the pre-session command. So what is pre-session command? Pre-session command is nothing but if you are running any command here, if you are writing any command here, this command will be executed before starting the session. That is called a pre-session command task. Okay. Post-session success command. If the session succeeded, this command will be executed. If you are writing here, post-session failure command, on success email, you know, right? On success email, on failure email, that we have seen. And pre-session variable assignment. You want to initialize the variable. So here you can initialize it. Okay. So all this you can see here. This is called the properties, the session level or workflow level properties. Now we will see one more, the properties called, say here, target We have already seen this target load plan. So now we will see target load type. What is the target load type? See, normally it will be enabled with the bulk load, right? Normally it will be enabled with the bulk load. Target load type. Target load type. This is different. Target load plan is different. Target load type is different. Target load plan means the order in which the table should be loaded. Target load type is nothing but we have bulk load and normal load. Bulk load, normal load. What is normal load? Say for an example, what is bulk load? This is the target table. You assume that this is a target table. Bulk load is nothing but from source, it will take the data. Okay, Informatica will take the data and it will load bulk, some bulk by bulk load, some number of data. So if you have commit timestamp is commit interval is 10,000, all the 10,000 record will be read from the source and then it will be writing into the target. So remember, if you have any, by default bulk load will be enabled. So remember, if the target contains any primary key or any indexes, any index. So primary key or any indexes. Primary key will create unique index. Normally in Oracle table and all, primary key will create unique index. If the index is present in the target table, then Informatica will not support this bulk load. Not only Informatica, any data load will not support bulk load if the target table contains any indexes. So even it is applicable on Oracle bulk load, Teradata bulk load, Informatica bulk load also. If you want to run any session in bulk load, there should not be any indexes. In the target, you should not have any indexes. See, look at here. So as of now, there is no index. I'm going to run this particular workflow. It will get succeeded. So since it is a connection error, it is failing. Now I have changed the connection. Then it will get succeeded. So double click, you can see here. Okay, it got some recovery strategy. Okay, so recovery strategy enabled. That's why it's failing. We will remove that. Okay, override tracing also will make it like none. So retry session, fail the task and continue the workflow. So I will make the default options. I'm running it. So let it run. Meanwhile, I will connect this source and target. Target I will connect. So we have enabled this property. It has loaded. The data has been loaded into the target table. You can see here. Select start from E underscore employees table. Just I'm running it. You can see the data is available. So you have some 444 record is available now. See, there is no indexes in the target table. That's why it is supporting the bulk load, right? See, bulk load. Say for an example, I'm going to create an index or primary key in the target table. It will fail. Create index name. So index name is idx underscore emp on t underscore employees table bracket which column I want to create, employee underscore id. I'm creating index on employee ID column. So control enter, index will be created. So if index is available, Now there is an index. Will it support bulk load? No, it will not support. You would have encountered this error before sometimes. If index is available or primary key available, if you are trying to run this Informatica, it will fail saying that index define upon it. So look at now, it will fail. See here, target, write the data from source, but while writing it is failing with WRT is nothing but writer thread. It's failing with T underscore implies has index define upon it. That means if the target contains index, it will not support bulk load. I want to troubleshoot it. I want to overcome this error. How? What? Two options. What can I do? You can go to mapping. You can go to the target. You can change target load type to normal mode. Normal mode. If you are enabling into a normal mode, just I'm enabling truncatable option also. If you are enabling it normal mode, then it will get succeeded. But if you have huge volume of data, since normal mode, it will load one by one all the data. Okay, one by one all the data. It will take a lot of time. It will lead into a performance issue. So definitely you will be facing. Now you can see 107 record is that it has completed with normal load. But in real time, if you have millions of data, normal mode will take more time than bulk load. We have to have a bulk mode, okay, and also we should have an index. So why we should have an index? The target, okay. So you have the target, the downstream application reading the data from here, right? So reading the data from here. So for them, if the index is available, read operation will be very faster if the index is available. So for that, we need to have an index. Okay, you need to have an index and also you need to have a bulk load. What can I do? So you can go for pre-SQL, post-SQL concept. What is the pre-SQL, post-SQL concept? See, you can have the bulk load and this is the target, right? You can enable the bulk load and you can see here pre-SQL and post-SQL. In pre-SQL, you drop the index. You can drop the index. Drop index, index name. You can drop it. It will be dropped. See here, I have drop index. And in the post-SQL, sorry, pre-SQL, you have to drop the index. Post-SQL, you have to create an index. Clear? So while start loading, pre-SQL will be executed first, right? So it will drop the index. Then it will start loading with the bulk load. So once the data has been loaded, you are creating the index on the table. So index also there, bulk load also there. So now it will succeed. Look at now. Previously we were enabling the normal load, but we are the bulk load. But the table has index, but it will complete now. You can go and check in the session log. The index will be dropped and created. That's what you can go for the target load type. Are you clear what is target load plan and target load type? Pre-SQL, post-SQL. Pre-SQL means before data load it will be executed. Post-SQL means after data load it will be executed. Clear on this? So these are all the workflow level properties you have and session level properties. Please practice all this session level and workflow level properties. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the next session. Okay. So thank you all. We will meet in the next session. So do you have any doubt before winding up? Okay. So thank you. Then we will meet the next session.